With the biggest match since the return of the FWA only hours away, all eyes are focused on Nottingham as we head towards the Art of War. That's what we're covering on this week's Frontline. Hello, I'm Len Davies and this is Frontline. After weeks of anticipation, the FWA will explode into Sports Nottingham this coming Sunday with one of the most loaded cards and talked about main events in recent British wrestling history. The highly controversial faction of the Agenda, led by world champion Martin Stone, will go head-to-head against the FWA's Resistance Movement, led by Leroy Kincaid, in a truly epic 8-man tag team elimination contest. As we discussed on last week's show, tension between the two groups has risen to a new zenith with the addition of British wrestling legend and TNA superstar Doug Williams siding with the Resistance. Over previous weeks, we've heard from everybody involved in this huge 8-man main event. But this coming Sunday, the war will begin for real. A war that is set to change the face of the British wrestling industry forever.
Coffee and sticks, little Gero, Johnny Storm, it's chaos here.
In fact, this coming Friday in the huge national newspaper, the Daily Star, Patrick Lennon, in his weekly Fighting Talk page, discusses the feud and the upcoming match in such detail that it shows it's becoming a national interest. However, let's not forget that on this night, the FWA will present its most impressive lineup of matches since its return last August at New Frontiers.
What a show of honour between two of the best of their generation. And what a night. I have goosebumps running up and down my arm.
Over recent weeks, we've discussed the increasing tension in the FWA flyweight division, and in particular the controversial decision over Bubblegum's withdrawal from the round-robin tournament. The two main grudges within the flyweight division have been between RJ Singh and El Ligero, and the Wonder Kid Johnny Storm and Rockstar Spud. However, at the Art of War for one night, these will be turned totally on their head. Johnny Storm will get the opportunity to re-enter the tournament that he was illegally removed from when he faces fellow flyweight fan favourite El Ligero. The Mexican sensation has previously expressed through an interpreter that he has a huge amount of respect for the Wonder Kid, so fans in Nottingham can expect to see a true FWA classic. Such level of mutual respect will not be present in the other flyweight match of the evening, however, as RJ Singh and the Rockstar Spud face each other in the next round of the ongoing tournament. Relations between the two wrestlers have gone from bad to worse over recent months, and reached boiling points at the recent MCM Expo at London's prestigious Excel Centre. This clash of super egos brought out a side of Spud that turned him into a default fan favourite in front of the packed house. A side that many British wrestling fans are hoping will resurface at the Art of War. And speaking of British wrestling fans, the FWA's parent company, the Grapple Group, is preparing to give them a unique perspective into the inner workings of the Frontier Wrestling Alliance. The Behind the Curtain series will give fans an exclusive backstage pass into the world of British wrestling. The first in the series shows multiple-time British champion and FWA head of content Alex Shane speaking to the entire roster prior to the Battle Lines event. To see this video in full, go to www.thegrapplegroup.com. One group whose grappling skills will certainly be put to the test are the high-flying tag team the Daredevil Dragons, who face Styx and Malin in the first round of the tag team title tournament this coming Sunday at the Art of War. Styx and Malin enter this contest with a clear advantage, having had an undefeated streak matched only by one of the teams in the following match, the Leaders. But they're facing the team that ended the undefeated streak by Styx and Malin, Project Ego. It's fair to say that Marty Scurll and Zack Sabre Jr., comprising the team the Leaders of the New School, are one of the most exciting tag teams in European wrestling. However, the Leaders' popularity is matched by their opponents, Project Ego, comprising of Martin Kirby and Chris Travis, a fun-loving tag team who've been known to bend the rules, but have the charm to get away with it. The contrast in styles in this contest are rivaled only by the final tag team tournament match of the evening. The FWA's most wacky tag team, Retropop, go head-on with probably the most serious Northern exposure. Dave Rain and Sam Bailey's clash with CJ Banks and Joey Hayes is seen by many as the wild card of the entire show. But don't be fooled by the characters. When it comes to the ring, these four are serious competitors. Don't forget, The Art of War comes to Sport Nottingham this coming Sunday, and tickets are still available from www.fwauk.com. That's all the time we have for this edition of Frontline, and on next week's show we'll discuss the aftermath of this historic event. But for now, we'll leave you with a preview of what you can expect to see.
Terry, Shah, battle lines was just the beginning of the punishment me and Redman are going to dish out to you two idiots.
They want to use Great Britain as a stepping stone. But I tell you what, you guys try and use it as a stepping stone, because these are the stones you've got to try and step on.
FWA, resistance is futile.
Having somebody of his calibre now again against the agenda, but back in the resistance, then the sky's the limit.
Come June 20th, at Art of War, I'm going to knock some respect back into you. I'm going to show you what a true ambassador of British wrestling is really about.
For anyone out there that wants to take on what we've got right here, how about you look at my actions? How about you see what I did to poor Bubblegum?
See, Bubblegum is now injured, so who better do you think? Because I know I think Johnny Storm should be taking that place, and then we can bring ourselves to a little bit of unfinished business with someone else in that tournament.
Johnny Storm is done! Johnny Storm is done in the FWA Heavyweight Tournament, and Johnny Storm is done in the FWA Flyweight Tournament.
You know, if you're going to beat a man, you have to know how he thinks. So what do you think? I tagged with the wrong pass button. Because now I know how he works. I know his moves. I know how he thinks.
Wrestlers, hell, hang on, that's Giant Ryan. Sticks caught him. Shane Spiral. Where's Dave Rain? Dave Rain, the man who got concussed back at New Frontiers. All three of the teams who Styx and Malin have attacked so brutally, who they've dropped on their heads in recent months, are fighting back en masse now.
They shouldn't.
At British Uproar.
They're gonna.
It is payback. It is payback as Malin is dropped
on his head.
Yeah.
On his head, Dave. He dropped him on his head. No.
The entire FWA Tag Team Division. You want to mess with Styx and Malin? You want to gang up on a 6-on-1? No more Mr. Nice Guys. We're gonna go through everybody like you've never felt before.
We're not going to take you lightly because, you know, we respect you. You try and bend the rules with us, we're going to break your arms.
You might gang up on us, 4-on-2, 5-on-2, it doesn't matter. Because do you guys even like each other? Do you trust each other?
Now, the Art of War, you lot better be prepared. Because I tell you what, war's just the beginning.